Dr. Nardi here, back with another video. Welcome to today's lecture on Chapter 6, Juvenile Delinquency. This chapter is crucial for understanding the complex world of young offenders, moving beyond simple headlines to explore definitions, prevalence, underlying theories, and what actually works in terms of prevention and treatment. Juvenile delinquency is a multifaceted concept, and its understanding requires a deep dive into various perspectives. First, let's tackle how we define delinquency. Legally, it's behavior that goes against the criminal code committed by someone who hasn't yet reached adulthood. This includes a very specific category called status offenses. A key distinction here is between juvenile courts, which focus on rehabilitation and are generally private, and criminal courts, where youth face public scrutiny and longer sentences. Research shows they often receive harsher penalties there than in juvenile courts for similar crimes. The social definition is much broader. It refers to a wide variety of youthful behaviors that are considered inappropriate even if they aren't technically criminal or ever come to the attention of the police. Psychologically, we use more clinical terms. Clinicians often use the term antisocial behavior for serious, habitual misbehavior that directly harms others. This is distinct from antisocial personality disorder, which is an adult diagnosis. The diagnoses you'll often see in youth are conduct disorder, CD, or oppositional defiant disorder, ODD, which involves problems with self-control. Juvenile offenses typically fall into 5 main categories: unlawful acts against persons like assault, unlawful acts against property like theft, drug offenses, public order offenses, and those status offenses we just mentioned. Let's focus on status offenses for a moment. These are behaviors forbidden only because of a person's age, things like truancy, running away from home, or underage drinking. Tracking these behaviors is important because, while not inherently criminal, they can sometimes be a precursor to more serious offenses. How the justice system should handle them remains a controversial topic. Now, what about the trends in juvenile crime? Contrary to many media portrayals, overall juvenile crime has actually decreased since the 1990s. And while young people do commit a disproportionate amount of crime, it's typically not the most serious kind. Most crime committed by juveniles is nonviolent. It's also important to remember that data gathering on youth offending is even more imperfect than for adults, so the true extent is largely unknown. This section is where we explore why delinquency occurs. A key feature of these developmental theories is that the age when antisocial behavior begins is crucial, as are the severity and persistence of the offending as the child grows older. One of the most important theories is Terrie Moffitt's. She proposed 2 main pathways. First are the life course persistent offenders, or LCPS. They start their antisocial behavior very early and continue well into adulthood, often plagued by psychological problems. Second are the Adolescent-Limited offenders, or ALs, who confine their offending to their teenage years and then stop as they mature. Laurence Steinberg's dual systems model offers a modern look at the teenage brain. It suggests that during adolescence, the brain's reward and thrill-seeking system is fully developed and supercharged, while the system responsible for self-control and long-term thinking is still under construction. This mismatch creates a perfect storm for impulsivity and risk-taking. Gerald Patterson's Coercion Developmental Theory suggests that aggressive behavior is often learned within the family. It posits that parents and children can teach each other that coercive tactics like yelling, threatening, or defiance are effective ways to get what they want. This pattern of interaction learned at home then gets carried into other social settings. What about youth who seem to lack a conscience? We refer to this as having callous unemotional traits, or CU traits. These are the childhood markers of psychopathy: a lack of empathy, a lack of guilt, and shallow emotions. These traits are highly heritable and are strongly linked to chronic, serious antisocial behavior. Knowing all this, what can we actually do about juvenile delinquency? The most effective treatment strategies are all based on what's known as the RNR approach. That is, they target the offender's specific risks, needs, and responsivity to treatment. While we will look at specific programs, successful strategies in general share key characteristics. They tend to begin early, follow developmental principles, focus on multiple systems like home and school, and respect the cultural backgrounds of the families they serve. Prevention can be thought of in 3 levels. Primary prevention is universal. It aims to prevent delinquency before it starts and is delivered to an entire population. Project Head Start is a classic example. Selective prevention, or secondary prevention, is more targeted. It focuses on individuals or groups who have been identified as being at high risk for delinquency with the goal of intervening early. And finally, tertiary prevention is what we usually think of as treatment. It's for individuals who have already started to engage in delinquent behavior, and the goal is to reduce or stop future offending. So what does effective treatment look like? For years, the default was traditional residential treatment, but research has shown this is often ineffective. A far more effective modern approach is multisystemic therapy, or MST. This is an intensive community-based program that focuses on the family unit. It has been proven to reduce recidivism and substance abuse while improving family relations and school performance. A similar and equally effective approach is functional family therapy, or FFT. It's anher intensive community-based treatment focused on the family. Importantly, recent research has found that both MST and FFT show similar effectiveness, with no significant differences in outcomes across various racial groups. In summary, juvenile delinquency is a complex area requiring a nuanced understanding of legal, social, and psychological factors. Developmental theories help us understand the pathways young people take into and out of offending. While significant challenges remain, especially in treating complex cases, evidence-based programs like MST and FFT offer real promise. The research from the Pathways to Desistance study provides a crucial insight. Long-term incarceration is largely ineffective for youth, and community-based rehabilitative approaches are the critical step forward. Thank you for joining this lecture. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.